Welcome back. We are in Catonsville. We're at State Fair, Frederick Road, right across from El Guapo and the basement, as well as right around the corner from the Beaumont. My wife's going to want something from one of these places on the way home so I can stuff it in the refrigerator and have food all weekend. We're going to be at Hollywood Casino on Sunday night watching the big game. And I'll also have Maryland Lottery scratch-offs to give away. Whatever I have left over from Pappas on Friday goes with me to Hollywood Casino so you can be a winner. I have a handful of these left. I feel like Oprah. You get a ticket. You get a ticket. She gets a ticket. Everybody's getting a ticket. Sisters Academy of Baltimore is here. We're all supporting the Maryland Food Bank, our friends at Window Nation, the Maryland Lottery, and Jiffy Lube. We have a bunch of cans over here. We have nice folks. We have junior visionaries of the year in waiting over here. Going to try to make me cry about LLS. And Bill Cole has ridden shotgun here for the last couple of hours. I'm running out of my voice, dude. Do you want to?
I'm already exhausted, and I only been here like 1/20th of the amount of time you've put in this week. So
I've gone off the air.
You are my hero.
This week.
You are my hero.
2 of them are my fault. My wife knocked me off the air once. Our engineer knocked us off the air once. I've had double talk in my ear. I've cried 8.5 times. I'm being generous. I'm going to give myself 2 halves today. I haven't shaved since Monday, although if I knew this many pretty women were coming, I would have shaved today.
Right.
I look like I told Evan, dude, you gave me this shirt in 2017. He's like, it's vintage, and I'm like, I don't want a vintage shirt. I look truffy today, but I'm what you expected. I'm 31 hours into this. Almost 32 hours into this.
I think it's one of the best ideas you've ever had. So, like, this is the.
That means I've had a lot of good ideas. Then
you have, and your stick-to-itiveness, like. That's one thing Joe Enoch and I say all the time.
I put the
like,
pee and prick.
Come on, if you say you're going to do something, I will give you credit. You do it.
Come see me 5 o'clock tomorrow night. Come see me.
I give you that credit.
Ain't going to be no rematch until next year.
Right.
I'll do this again. Dude,
first annual. That's what we're calling this, the first annual.
We're going to get the ladies in here, but you and I haven't had at it all.
Right.
Give me a minute with him.
Right.
I went out and bought this hockey puck over here that gets all the cables to work, right? I mean, because it's a 5G device, right? So I bought it thinking I was going to return it next week and put the $50 restock fee because I really need to borrow it for a couple days. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're one of those people. Okay.
I've never done it in my life, but I don't need the thing again next week because I don't want to go live again. Do you see how stressed out I am? I'm nicer than these people think I am until I get live. And I said to my wife, it brings out the worst in me, live radio. I mean, peeing, drinking, meeting, greeting, PRing. You book acts on the show, and I don't know who they are. I don't have their notes because you're not like a real handler.
But it's all gone swimmingly well. So why?
It has gone really well. We haven't knocked off the air in a day and a half.
Right. What are you complaining about?
I'm hoping it doesn't happen right now.
Oh my gosh!
It's not going to happen.
I brought
Academy
you
of Baltimore deserve
celebrities.
Better than this.
Like I nailed it on my job.
But all I'm saying is the technology part of doing this, the live part, all of it doesn't hinge on anything that I'm in control of, right? Like, I know how to work the buttons. I don't know this light bright thing. This thing, I bought myself a toy.
Very fancy.
I've knocked myself off. Well, someone knocked us off the air twice this week, and it was a user error.
Right.
But I was the user.
Okay.
So, and this is the device.
Right.
So things are going well, and this is your final guest, and you saved the best for last. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell Kirby. You didn't hear that on the way home. Sisters Academy of Baltimore. This is a pet project. You love this project, and I knew you want to talk about it.
I do, but it's not even mine. It's more Doug Groves, who's watching. He's one of our fans in the studio here.
Yo, Doug.
Doug introduced me to Sisters, I don't even know how many years ago. And I won't do it justice to explain it, so I'm going to leave that up to them.
Well, that's why we're here.
Right. But again, one of these,
I don't even know your name.
Under the radar
I don't have your names in front of me. This is an underproduced program.
Under the radar gems. There's some mystery here, Ness. Don't take away the mystery. That's what keeps people listening.
Hi, I'm Ness. What's your name?
Samina Clark.
Samina, how are you?
Khalik Sims.
Khalik, Samina Khalik. Now I got to go mnemonics, and they're not even like names I've ever heard before.
You're going to ruin this. Come on, I believe in you. You got it.
He brought you here to mess me up, I think is what he did. Tell me about yourselves and what you do, because he has told me a million times. He said, I'm bringing these girls, it's going to be great, and here we are. It's an all-girls school,
Yes.
and we're doing good things, which is what Baltimore Positive is all about.
We're doing phenomenal things, and we want to thank you for inviting us to the show today,
I want to thank you
Nestor.
for wearing that great hat.
Well, thank you. This hat says Balt, and it is our...
Biggie's looking at you. I mean, it's weird that Biggie's looking at everybody.
He is.
Biggie's been staring. Biggie was staring at you, and he didn't even know it. Giving you a stink eye is what he's doing
Well,
up there.
he's not from Baltimore, but today at Sisters Academy of Baltimore, we are repping our city. So all of our students are wearing something Baltimore related. Samina is wearing her Sisters Academy of
Baltimore right there,
Baltimore,
it says it right.
and I'm wearing my hat. And all of our students, if you went to school today, would see
Catonsville.
You would see Orioles gear, you would see Ravens gear.
No,
but
the new
that's
and
not what
improved
we
Orioles.
do. We look great this week because it's Spirit Week, but we also
It's Spirit Week.
It's Spirit Week at Sisters Academy.
Aw,
It's Spirit Week.
And it's Super Bowl week here.
And it's Super Bowl week. So we're leading in the Super Bowl at our all-girls 5th through 8th school in Lansdowne. We are a tuition-free independent school for girls. All of our students get full scholarships for 4 years.
No wonder you like this project, Bill.
Yes.
When
This
did
is
this
a project
start? How
we-
did this start?
Yeah.
Who started it? Let's go.
All
Go.
right. So this school started in 2004 when 4 orders of Catholic nuns came together and said, we're going to start a school for girls in Southwest Baltimore. They did a feasibility study. They looked at the area. They looked at the availability of high-quality education, particularly independent school, private school education in the area where we're located. And they said, we're going to establish a school here. We're going to plant this seed. And that's what they did. It was the Sisters of Notre Dame de Namur, the Sisters of Mercy, the Sisters of Bon Secours, and the Sisters of Notre Dame, School Sisters of Notre Dame. And since 2004, we have graduated, wait for it,
Go ahead.
199 students.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely?
You know, I think of Southwest Baltimore. I'm from the east side, from Dundalk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I covered high school basketball in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid. There was Seton, and there was Keogh, and there was Seton Keogh, and there was Mount Sales, and there were schools. A lot of these schools were girls' schools, girls I dated, girls I knew. I covered their basketball teams, and I think to myself, these places are gone. Like a lot of those places were gone. They were underfunded. Kids didn't go. I talked to Chris Pike about this at length about Mount St. Joe because he's a West Side guy. He grew up on like Scott Street over by the B&O warehouse, and he went to the West Side. But I don't know a lot about the schooling over here. But I did see that girls would have less options.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
just in a general sense, in this century, there were less options for girls to go to school.
That's right. And you know what happened to those Seton Keogh graduates after our school closed and we went on? We became presidents of girls' schools.
You're a
That's my
Seton Keogh
story.
president?
I am a Seton Keogh graduate.
What year?
1990.
Was Trish coaching the basketball team?
I was one of her basketball players. I was a forward
Baltimore,
and
dog.
a center. Okay, and you could check out some of my tape. I didn't go to the WNBA.
No, hold on a second. I covered girls basketball. So were you like Dana Johnson era?
Dana Johnson, I will say I was in her era, but I was not in her stratosphere.
Well, she's special.
Okay,
I mean, she went to
but
Tennessee,
she
killed
did
everybody.
knock the wind out of me at the Metro Classics. My
Oh,
senior
did
year.
y'all?
Yeah, you can look back in the Baltimore
Dana-
Sun for that footage.
Yeah, and you know what? If Dana Johnson, I did a TV show with Dana. I did the Bottom Line Kwesi Mfume show.
Yeah.
I did a show about Title IX like 20 years ago, right? And Dana was just like getting out at that point. She was, probably a year or two out of college, but I think she was going to coaching track at that point. But, she came on the show, and I had never really met her or anything like that. But I would think, like, if you got posted up by Dana Johnson, you just remember it.
I just remembered it.
I got struck out by Richie Path in
Hey.
Little League, and I talked about it here today.
That's our story. That's
You
our
know?
story. I
You
mean,
win some, you lose
you
some.
might not be the great, but you were with the greats.
I tried to tackle Tommy Polly one time.
You tried to tackle Tommy Polly. You remember that?
That hurt.
Yeah.
I bet that did.
Yep.
And speaking of, so Sisters
love Tommy,
Academy
by the way.
also has a basketball team that is putting up some
Are you the coach?
impressive numbers. I'm not the coach. I'm the president of the school, but we have an outstanding staff of coaches for our basketball, our volleyball, and our
guys have
track
cards.
teams.
You have business
Oh, we
cards.
have business
Give me a
cards.
card. I
I'm
wanna
going to give
stay
you
in
our
touch with
cards.
you, man.
Yeah, because we want people to support our
Is Trish
sports.
still around? Do you still
I
think
don't know. I don't know if my high school basketball coach was around. I need to find out where she is.
Can I tell a Trish story?
You can.
Trish had fiery red hair, all right? And Trish coached, I believe she coached a different school, IND or Mercy, before Mariella was the coach at, Mariella Marion was the coach at Mercy. So I covered girls basketball from 87 to 92, 93 in that range. So Rosemary Kasorik, girl Amy Mallon, I mean, really good before Dana, but Breezy Bishop was at Western, was unbelievably good. But Trish had a friendship relationship with my sports editor, who was a generation before me, and he knew her, and he put me on the beat, and he's like, go see Trish. Trish is my girl. And Trish knew Mike Marlowe, and it put me in with Trish. I mean, I'm 19 or 18. I mean, I'm old enough that I would, I did date one of the girls during the time. Like they were 18, I was 19. It was fun. Actually, two girls. They were very pretty. It was a long time ago. So Trish was like the adult in the room and the coach at Seton Keogh, and had a great team. And I hit it off with her.
Yeah.
She's just a special person.
Yeah, she was.
I remember my times with her, and I covered a lot of high school coaches. But my time at Seton Keogh, you must have had great memories.
I have great memories of Trish. I have great memories of my experience at Campfield Elementary School playing rec ball under another coach you may know, Charles McLeod, the late Charles McLeod. And on that team, which was called Liberty Road Basketball, we had Sonia Chase.
Club team. You had those
Club
AAU.
team. It wasn't AAU. It was a rec league. We played Project Survival. We played all the summer leagues all around Baltimore, and we had this at Campfield Elementary. Shout out to the late Charles McLeod, who brought up so many girls basketball players through that program, including Sonia Chase, who did play for the WNBA.
Well, there was no WNBA in the very beginning.
No,
so a lot of breezy girls could play.
Right. But eventually.
So what do you learn from all this that makes you
what
such a
I
Sisters
learned
Academy
from all
of Baltimore
of this
awesomeness?
is that it takes a village to raise a girl. It takes a village. So basketball teams and churches and community organizations and great schools like Sisters Academy are the services and support systems that take girls who wouldn't ordinarily have these opportunities and help them to reach their fullest potential. So that's what we do, and that's what it takes. It takes the whole community, right? And so at Sisters, we're leveraging all that. We have, talented people like Samina Clark here with me, who's our communications and our recruitment manager, and she is the person that goes out into the community and finds students for us.
How many students are there currently?
63 students.
63 students, and they are ages and ranges.
We host grades 5 through 8, so 9 to about 14.
Right, which
ages.
We really need to emphasize that, because 5th to 8th, holy cow. I got 2 of them, and that is like God's work right there, bro. I mean, that is.
So we're talking 10 through 14.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so we're a middle school, but we start in 5th grade, and we only admit in the 5th grade so that we can have the girls for all 4 years and really have them at this crucial time in their lives, the adolescent years, the hard years, the middle school years, the puberty years, where we have this community that is family-oriented, that is small. We have our student-teacher ratio does not exceed 10 students to every one teacher, and normally it's a little smaller than that. So one-on-one attention for our girls at this tender age.
How do students wind up in? Is it an application process, qualification process? And you'd like to not turn people away, right? I mean, but I would think that not everybody gets to go to the Sisters Academy.
That's right.
Right. So our mission is to educate, empower and inform our community. So we have an application process. It's pretty simple. You can just go to our website. You have to be a current fourth grader going into the fifth grade.
So that's the time. That's the
Yep.
okay. So fourth. Where are your kids, Billy?
I'm in 5th and 8th.
Fifth and eighth.
Right.
I tell you, I'd send my kid.
I'm hand-to-hand combat.
I would
See what
I would
mean?
send my kid.
Hand-to-hand
If she's
combat.
gonna fix my kid.
Right.
In. All right. Not Barry. Don't get any ideas. All right. I don't have any grandkids right now. But if that were to happen, but if I had a boy, wouldn't be able to go there. I wouldn't. I was going to call out Barry Stitz and make a curly joke, but I won't. It's East Baltimore. I've been doing that all week. Dundalk, Patapsco, all that.
We're going to come back
That
to the
rivalry?
boys' school in a minute, but let her finish talking about the community
What
they're
makes you think
serving.
I'm not going to let her finish?
I would like to let her finish explaining how we find these wonderful young women.
I'm not in the way.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. So, yes, we're looking for current fourth graders who are coming into the fifth grade. We're just searching for motivated young ladies who could really benefit from the education that we're providing, our Excel programs, all of our extracurriculars, our academics, and everything like that. You can just go on our website. We have an inquiry form to capture all of your information, your contact information. You can come in to tour the school, get the SAB
Where is the
experience.
school? Like, what's it near? Where give me a
So
little
we
marker.
are located 139 First Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21227, Halethorpe.
Lansdowne, Halethorpe, Arbutus, Catonsville. They all fight. I don't.
Yeah, right around the
You
corner.
better not get that wrong. You better
Yeah.
not confuse Halethorpe
Yeah.
with Catonsville. And
Well-
then there's Paradise, which is where I've always wanted to live.
Yeah.
But
Well, a lot of our students also come from Cherry Hill. So we have a bus that picks up in Cherry Hill.
I was
right?
going to ask you about that because
Yeah.
Johnny Rollo and I got in today about me going to McDonough from Dundalk, and I'm
Oh.
like, I went out there one time, and he wound up living there, and we talked about his education today and a private school education for a kid from Dundalk and being
Mm-hmm.
aboard trouble. Not a trouble, he wasn't trouble, but he found trouble, as he would say. but there is a barrier of distance, I would think,
Yes.
at some point. I mean,
Yes.
this isn't for a kid in Bel Air,
Right.
I mean, literally, right?
I mean, we definitely focus on the Southwest Baltimore area, but it's extending, and we have a bus that picks up at 3 locations because we have determined, based on where our kids are coming from, what would be optimal for them and their families to be accessible. So Cherry Hill is one of our bus stops, right at St. Veronica's Church in Cherry Hill. We also have a stop on the corner of Hollins and Poppleton Street, and then we have a new bus stop this year at Irvington, so more, closer towards
Out
Mount
this
St. Joe.
way, out this
Yeah,
way,
it's right
yeah,
at
yeah,
St.
yeah.
Joseph's Monastery.
All right.
So those are our 3 stops, and the majority of our students take advantage of our bus service. So we have a lot of students who get rides from home, and parents and so forth who bring them in every day. We have an extended school day. That's important. So this is part of our magic. Part of our magic
you
is
never let him leave.
we never let them go. We never let them be away for too long. So we have a school day that
Gotta
goes
keep an eye on these 10-year-old
until-
girls.
Right, that's right.
You were 10. You know what trouble you got into.
Exactly.
Trish kept you on the up and up.
The idle mind, right? So we try not to let them be idle. So they're at school until 5 p.m. every day. And we have a host of enrichment activities. So school ends technically at 3:45, the core of the school day. But then they stay for our Excel program, which is a host of enrichment programs, academic support, as well as dance and art and coding and
Sewing,
debate clubs,
fashion.
sewing, fashion, you name it,
Keyboard.
until 5 o'clock every day. And then the bus can take home.
Look at her lighting up just talking about it. She's
We're
smiling.
excited about it.
We're having fun, we're learning things.
Yeah.
Kind of like the show.
It's just like
Especially
the
when
show.
Bill's here.
And then let's talk about once we craft these young women and we launch them into high school.
Yeah.
We don't say goodbye at that
Oh,
point.
no.
No, we
right.
don't.
No, we do not
Well,
say
you got
goodbye.
alums everywhere, right?
We have
what-
alums
You've been
all
doing this
over.
for 20 years, right?
But it's not being grateful to have alums, because we're still wrapping our village hugs around these children.
Exactly.
Because there's still lots of work to do.
Exactly. So after the 4 years, we have a graduate support program that kicks in, and our graduate support team helps students to apply and be accepted into private and public schools all over the area, as well as a boarding school. This year, we applied to a boarding school in New York.
Master's school.
Master's school in New York. We have an applicant there this year, and we try to make sure that we match students with their schools of their choice and help them and their families with that process. And then we visit with them while they're in high school to make sure they're moving along well, that they're adjusting well to high school, whether it's a private school like McDonough, as you mentioned, or whether it's a public school like a city or a poly. We have graduates who attend those schools as well right here. And then we follow them to college and to their first careers. And the goal is that one day, right, they'll come full circle and they'll become donors and supporters at the very least, if not employees of Sisters Academy.
Now, where did you go to high school? Who do I know that coached you?
I went to Chesapeake High School in Essex.
Oh, Middle River girl! Bayhawks!
We probably should have.
Bayhawks,
We
yeah.
probably should have talked about that ahead of time
listen to
and
me,
come up
listen
with
to me,
like
listen to
a
me.
false answer to
I
that.
don't think he's ever had a slice of Pizza John's pizza. This guy
That's
here.
not true. Come on.
Have you had Pizza John's?
Of course. Come on.
I think you went down Bag River Neck Road.
Golly,
I didn't know
Dad.
that. You know, I was over at Costas
so
in
judgy.
Dundalk on
That's so
Tuesday, and St. John's a parish over there in Essex and Middle River. We did a whole food bank thing and a turn on. It's my side of town, man. Come on, you know the east side over. I would think for you, and just talking to you for 15 minutes, this is the kind of school you wish you would have gone to,
Oh, 100%.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like to
Oh,
me.
yeah. I mean, this.
I built a radio show that I always wanted to listen to. I never listened to it, but I still built it.
Like I said,
Right.
we were founded by religious sisters, so our name is Sisters Academy because we're named for that congregation. But we are a sisterhood. So yes, I would have loved to have attended a school like this because our students are sisters. And the relationships that they build there, so outside of the great academic program, they have a social experience in which they are with girls who become sisters
And
over
you can't
time.
buy your way into the school.
You cannot.
Right, literally. Like,
No, you have to earn your way into Sisters Academy by being a student of great promise and by being a student who comes from this general region of Southwest Baltimore, and by being a student who could benefit from the opportunity because there's no access to quality education, in certain areas and in certain families. So we want to provide that access.
I want to read from your thing, all right?
All right, read from it.
They asked me to do this.
Who's they?
The purpose of our tuition-free school is to educate young girls with an engaging and challenging middle school education, primarily in Southwest Baltimore. We offer a holistic academic program that encourages each student's intellectual, social, physical, and spiritual development. Our school was founded and supported by 4 congregations of religious women and a host of generous donors. 100% tuition-free and sponsored by people like that guy right there.
That's right.
Bill Cole, Cole
thank-
Roofing. So,
we do. We thank Bill for your support
yes.
Oh, you're very welcome.
over the years.
You want to get controversial now?
They're patriots. I see that already. Go ahead.
No. Well,
they wouldn't vote for that
They
guy.
can pretend like they're not in the discussion if they would rather to. But how big do you think the disparity is in Baltimore in the dollars of giving that go to all boys schools versus all girls schools?
Well, I mean, Calvert Hall, Loyola money, it's funny we would bring this up because John Rollo came over on a whim today. We grew up together, East Side, MMA, Show Your Soft Side, Mr. Muscles. We grew up together. And he ran off to McDonough, and we were talking. I almost went to McDonough. I did like a test over there. It was a boys' school then. I don't think of girls going to McDonough because, when I was a kid, girls didn't go to McDonough. So even, the highest end schools are boys' schools. And the dudes play golf, and they have country. They would be much more inclined to give to old Loyola or give to old Calvert Hall, right, than they would. So I would probably say it's 8-1. Am I wrong in saying 8-1?
No, as I normally do when I challenge you, I absolutely don't have the facts to give you the answer to the question.
Well, I just
have
know the
seen-
INDs have
I
struggled.
have
The
seen
Towson
the
Catholics have gone out of
research.
business,
Yes.
right? I mean, Seton Keogh, gone. Wait, it's where this
I
conversation
have
began.
seen the charts. I just don't have the number. But the one bar graph is
What you're
up
saying
here,
is
and
we
the
invest
other
more in
one's
boys
like
than we do
right
in
here.
girls, and I agree with that.
But-
Right?
and
You
the-
agree with that, right?
Yes, I
'Cause it's
100%
true.
agree with it.
Because it's true. It's got to
Right.
be true.
It is.
How can
Yes.
it not be true?
And maybe that's makes sense, right? Just with the number of schools and the number of students
Sure.
and the number of alumni and the years and all that, you can kind of make the case.
And they play football, and
But
we're
the
going to do this and
disparity,
that. Right, yeah.
disparity is what doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
Like we would all acknowledge, there's more graduates or whatever, blah blah blah.
I don't have a
the
daughter, but if I had
delta,
one, I'd love her as much as I love my son.
The delta,
Right?
right? But there's a historical piece.
Miss Principal President's Googling it. She's going to have the answer for 30 seconds.
I'm just wasting time till we get the answer. It's good. No, here's the challenge that that has entered my orbit, which is part of like my understanding of what's going on. Is like, how can we rationally not support the mothers and the sisters and the wives? Like, what? Like, how can we invest in all the guys and help get them educated, but not think it's important to have, you know, a wife who is educated, or a sister who gets educated, or a mother who's educated? Because don't you think that an educated mother is likely to produce and support and encourage an educated son or daughter from there? Like, isn't that just fundamentally how this works?
That is how it works, and I'm still looking for the number, but I will say that we have a student sponsorship program at Sisters Academy of Baltimore. Our fundraising model hinges on the student sponsorship, and we know that it costs $17,000 a year, roughly, to educate a girl at our school. Yet, we ask our student sponsors, who generously give $7,500 per year for 4 years, to underwrite that expense, and then we raise funds to make up the difference. But similar schools, and I won't name names, but similar schools for boys who have a model that is similar to ours, in which they have a student sponsorship, they ask $13,000 to $14,000 a year. We ask $7,000 a year of our sponsors for our girls, but the education costs the same. So they're asking for twice as much money to educate a boy for their sponsorship,
I mean, it's the same
as
thing
we
with
are
women
for
not
girls.
getting paid the
So I
same for
know
doing
that.
the same job, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we, you know.
Right, but we blame that on women not being willing to advocate for themselves, and this is
ask
how
for a raise and all that
exactly,
shit,
and that's
right.
how we blame. That's how we explain that away. Here's a case where we literally have the ability, right, to help educate the future mothers of the children who are going to populate the earth and hopefully continue on our whatever, and they're not even thinking in that regard, because it's the numbers that are the delta is so big.
The delta
is
is
so
huge.
big.
The delta is huge.
Sisters Academy of
Thank you for saying
Baltimore
that.
and sistersacademy.org if you want to help these ladies, and you should. Bill Cole is going to get out of here. So I was at Coco's yesterday, and I finally found out how you women have gotten ahead.
Uh-oh.
Coco's is real narrow and small. You ever been to Coco's?
Crab
East
cakes.
Baltimore?
Crab cakes, yeah.
I was there. Yeah, I got a Coco's crab cake sitting at home right now. I'm going to probably fry it later on. Because Marcella, she just throws food. You taking this home?
It's down the street
You've
from
been
Morgan
here all
State.
day, right? It's right next to Morgan State.
Yeah, that's
you a
that's
Morgan
my,
girl?
Oh yeah, that's my alma mater,
See?
and my mother's, and my father's, and my husband's.
See, I got on the wrong side of everybody over there. No, I got on the wrong side of everybody over there because I'm Coppin State, right?
Oh, okay.
No,
Great school.
But we're their flagship forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, am I allowed to say good things about Morgan? It's kind of like being Dundalk and saying good things about Patapsco.
Oh, you can. You can definitely say. You can. I mean, how can you not say good things about Morgan? There's so many great things happening
Well, if
there.
I went to Coppin, I don't know if I feel that way.
You do.
Know? A couple
we're all,
times a year.
Oh yeah,
you know?
we support Coppin too.
So Coco's, if you're familiar, they have the little crab cake station, a little wait station, and they have two little bathroom areas in the back. And one says, non-binary, gender, neutral, for anybody. Anybody can use it. It's really the men's room, like it is, but like anybody can use it. And she said, we have people that see that and they're weird, politically this, that. And like, where's the real men's room? I'm like, that, just go get in there and pee, wash your hands, get back out of here, get your crab cake, right? But the ladies' room is dedicated to the ladies. And so I come out and I said to Marcella, I'm like, because the door was locked. I had to pee and I'm in a break, and I've told you what stress this puts me under. This live radio makes me crazy. So I come out and the door's locked and I got to pee and I'm in a break and I came out and I'm like, girls get all the breaks, man. You got your own bathroom, men have to wait. And she's like, you dudes, you got every break in the world, every break in the world. She's like, there's 2 stalls in the ladies' room. If that makes you feel any better. So
There you go.
So she's got 2 stalls for the ladies, and a lady can go in the men's room, and I'm out here waiting through the break. So you guys get,
That levels the playing field. That balances things.
Right? I mean,
yeah. That's
No-
equity.
No one loves women more than me. That's just a fact.
We should probably stop this.
Anybody
It's
knows
getting
that.
weird now.
All right, I gotta go.
It's getting weird.
Kira's here. She's here to make me cry. The LLS people are here to make me run for Man of the Year. Do I look Man of the Year worthy? No. I mean, come on. I'm not even Man of the Hour. I got Bill Cole here for that. Sisters Academy of Baltimore.
Sisters Academy of
Yeah,
Baltimore.
I know how to mute your mic, so watch.
Right.
And we, tell Trish I love her. She was awesome, man.
Please,
Find
Trish, if
her.
you're listening, please reach out.
And Dana, if you're here, I'm waiting for you one-on-one. What are you waiting for? I got bad knees. I can't.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so.
Dana would still
No,
kill me.
yeah,
I don't know anything about
yeah,
Dana.
I don't think so.
All right, we're out of Catonsville, never to be confused with Paradise or Halethorpe or Lansdowne or God forbid Ellicott City. That's over the line. Although Evan did own a few places in Ellicott City. We're here at State Fair. El Guapo's cross street, the basement, the Beaumont, where I'm probably getting some carry out for later. We're entering the final hour of day 4 of my hostage situation in this crab cake row thing with a cup of Super Bowl. We have cups, we have soup, we have bowls, we have great gifts here for the folks at the Maryland Food Bank. And I want to get this right. Catonsville Emergency Assistance is going to be the benefactor of that. We're going to have a third Kirby of the day. But first up, the Junior Visionary LLS here on behalf of Mom and saving lives and doing cool stuff. That's happening next. Back for more in Catonsville at State Fair. Stay with us.